Now, in this case, 100 grand in coverage from the age of 30 to the age of 60, you have the same coverage. So what has to happen to premium as you get older?
Increases.
It has to increase. It has to. These are facts. You can't dispute them. And ladies and gentlemen, every policy is defined is best understood in here. This is known as an annual renewable term policy. Now, in keeping it simple, I wish I can write it in a different color now, but in keeping it simple, let me ask you this. The insurance industry, right? The insurance companies, what do they want with a client? What do they want?
Them to be healthy?
Nope. I mean, not really, because they're more unhealthy. They actually make more money. What
Live their policy.
They want them to complete their term.
No. Yeah, they want to complete their term, but what does every company want? Forget life insurance. Every company.
Make money.
They just want clients.
Well, they want more money.
Product.
So they make more money the more and longer you pay. What does the consumer want? Do you want to pay the most? No, you want to pay the least for as short as possible time, right? That's the tug of war. So the question becomes this. As a consumer, I don't want to pay the most possible, but if the company wants me to pay the most possible, so here's what they do. Why don't they say this? Hey, listen, let's make a deal here. Why don't I give you, if I give you a 5-year level term, right? You're going to pay a little bit more, 100 grand for a 100 grand 5-year level term. You're going to pay a little bit more than the annual renewable term, right? Everybody gets that, right? Because you're locking it in for 5 years versus 1. So they'll say, I'm going to charge you a little bit more for the 5 years. If you compare that to the cost of insurance and the increase every single year for the 5 years, you'll end up paying a lot less in the 5-year locked-in period than you would in the 5-year annual renewable period. Does everybody get that? So therein lies the rub. So what if they give you a 10-year level term, 20-year or 30-year level term? See, what starts to happen, the longer you're locked in, it benefits both parties. I'm going to charge you less over the 30-year period, but I'm also going to have you locked in as a client for 30 years. Does everybody get that? Because the company wants you to have coverage for as long as possible, and you want to pay the least possible. So the best way to buy life insurance is locking it in as long as you can to give you enough time to do what? Let's see who can catch that one.
Have enough
your
money
investments.
to retire yourself.
There you go. I'm giving that one to Tefan. 1 out of 4 ain't bad, girl. Right? Right? To lock so that you can replace it with money. That's the point. That's the goal here. So term long enough is the best way to buy life insurance for both parties. Now, I was going to go into, but I'm not, because this is not, I'm going to get into breaking down whole life. But let me just give you this tidbit here. Here's how a whole life policy looks. Let me clean this up a little bit. A whole life policy looks like this. 100 grand. You're 30 years old to the age of 100. This is the coverage, 100,000. Premium stays the same for the next 70 years. How is that possible? That's what the whole life product looks like. And I ask a client when I'm going over it, and anytime I've ever explained this to a client, I'll ask him, how is that possible? It doesn't make logical sense. The company is guaranteed to pay out because most people die before the age of 100. And they're only charging you the same premium. We just established by fact that the older you get, the closer to death you are, therefore the higher the risk, therefore the higher cost. So how can a product be sold by a company where they're guaranteed to have to pay out a benefit and charge you the same amount? Explain that one to me. And I stump them. And what's the answer here? What is it that the insurance company has in their back pocket?
They're overcharging you.
They're overcharging you, one. What else? And that overcharge is going into what?
Cash value.
Cash value. The line here makes it profitable for the company. Highly profitable. That's the line that changes the game. Because that line represents the money that you are accruing over time and ultimately that they're keeping. Right? So anyway, that's maybe I'll train on that next week. I don't want to get into it because I can go into that a lot longer. Right? But that's kind of the premise here. Any questions about this? I hope this was clear. I know sometimes it can be confusing. I apologize if I did that. Clear? Good? Awesome. Right? And by the way, very fundamental, guys. It's very fundamental. Right? Now, I want to cover with you why you should be proud of our company and what separates us from the industry. And then we're going to go into a few case studies to give you real life numbers. Okay? So here's some things that is important for you guys to know. And you can actually go to this. If you go to your POL, go to products, right? The tabs up top, go to products, click on life insurance, and you can, look for company benefits, right? In our products. Number one is obviously credibility and quality. When it comes to credibility, guys, we are we're beasts, right? Think about it. Number one, we're rated A+, right? 94% of our policies are claims are given within 14 days. My wife last year got within a week of them receiving the death benefit, got the money for the family within a week, right? So, and then we right now have over $800 billion in life insurance in force. We paid out last year in 2019, we paid out $1.2 billion in death claims. I mean, come on. There's no other company that does that, right? We pay out like $3.5 million a day, Jamily. A day we pay out, right? Also term lengths, right? We have 10, 15, 20, 30, 25, and 35 years. 35 years, I think, and I haven't heard of another company that had a 35-year level term. So we have vast majority of all term products. We're an industry leading in renewable and option rates, right? If you actually compare, and that's something I use when I compare it to other term policies, and actually on the presentation, you actually can see that there's when you go to somebody that has term insurance, not all term is equal. The slide that comes from that, there is a little document. If you click on it, it shows you the differences after 20 years of how much more it goes. It goes from like $1,600 a year to $36,000 a year. That's the loss leader. What happened, Donald?
It was 55,000.
Oh, my man, 55,000. Think about it. 55,000. Ridiculous, man. That's just completely right. No other company has the renewal rates. And by the way, we used to. This is something I saw recently on one of the policies I delivered. And because I just saw it quickly and I didn't realize it. We usually gave policies out where, whenever you bought a 30-year level term, you had you were guaranteed that minimum and maximum rates for only 20 years. Because it's very difficult for a life insurance company to guarantee anything past, quote unquote, a generation length, about 20 to 25 years because of things like coronavirus can happen and horrible things can happen. And it changes the industry in regards to, cost of insurance and things like that. But recently I saw, and I delivered a policy that I saw the guarantee for 30 years on both sides, minimum and maximum. Now, I know I'm a little excited about that. You probably weirded out about that. I get it. But man, that's ridiculous. No company has that, man. And then the renewal rates on that particular client went from like $28 a month or something like that to $117 a month, not $55,000. So these are things you got to understand and know. All of our policies are one. The company expresses to sell these policies as one per family, right? You also get family banding. Do you guys know what premium bands are, right? And they are from 15 to 150,000. The next one is at 250, at 500,000, and then 500 and up. What that means, Joey, is that the cost of insurance actually goes down when you have that level coverage or more. So if you compare almost anybody, if you quote, and I want you to do this so you can know this, if you put a quote together for somebody at 150 grand, right? Let's just say it's $50 a month, but you put 140 grand, same person, same client, is actually more expensive because the cost of insurance goes down when you reach these levels, right? It's almost like buying I have a family of 6, 7 with my mother-in-law there, and they have, and we go to Costco, we go to BJ's, we buy from Sam's Club. Why? Because we can get more product and less cost per unit. That's all, right? So that's what this ultimately is. Now, they also offer it in family banding, meaning cost of insurance goes down when you sit down with a couple. And, if you want to reach the next level, let's say at 250, I did that recently with a wife, really didn't work, but you understood she needed coverage and the husband did work. So I gave him 150 and her 100,000. That versus 100 and 100,000, that lowered their total cost of insurance. These are the little things that you need to understand. Number one, it makes you a professional. And number one, you do the best thing for the client. And in a lot of those cases, the software will also tell you, hey, reach the next banding and you'll actually, the client will pay less money. Think about that. What company does that? Our plans and programs are set up that way. Man, that's freaking awesome, right? We do e-delivery, right? My Primerica, you guys know that as well, right? E-delivery has been a big deal recently, and we got to take full advantage of that. MyPrimerica.com website, no war and terror clause. Now, this is important, right? When you think about most companies, like the vast majority have a no war and terror clause, meaning that if the insurer is killed by an act of war or terror, the insurance company can refuse to pay the claim. 9/11, that was considered, thousands of individuals passed away. Only 3 companies paid out. We were one of them. We paid over $10 million in death claims. And it wasn't just the no war and terror clause that we don't have, but in most cases, companies don't have to pay out if there's no death certificate given. Well, guess what? Because of 9/11, people were disintegrated. There was no death certificates given. Our company did not care. We paid out. Come on, if you can't get behind this, there's something wrong with you, or you just don't know. Hopefully, this is helping you understand that. Automatic increase request, right? If you have, let's say you put down for $250,000 and the cost was $70 a month, and because of premium rates or preferred plus rates, the cost went down. The automatically increased request allows you to get more coverage for the same price that you initially intended to pay for. So that's awesome. It allows the family to get the right amount of coverage. We obviously have a terminal illness benefit rider, right? If you get sick or if you have a terminal illness, cancer, maybe a heart problems, it has to be defined as a terminal illness. You have the ability to take 40 up to 70% of the coverage you have for purposes of medicine and medication and helping you with whatever you need. right? Up to $250,000. Yes, Joey.
I do have a question about that. So if a person utilizes that and then they pass, what do they get paid? What does the family get if
Great
they've
question.
taken
They get
70%?
the difference. They get the difference of whatever is left on the coverage. Right. So if let's say you had $200,000 and you took out and you used 40, 50 grand of it and you still passed away, the difference still comes to the natural beneficiary. Okay. Great question. Increase in benefit rider, right? You can get a 10% of the original amount for the first 10 years, guys. And this is huge. Why do I say that? The cost of insurance on that increase in benefit rider is based on your age today for the first 5 years and your health today. And that's at no additional cost. You receive, and by that I mean it isn't a rider that costs you to have this rider, right? So at the 11th month of your policy year, every year for the first 10, you'll receive a letter from the company asking if you want to keep the IBR. If you do, just leave it as it is. If you don't, you sign it, you can stop it, and then it stops from there forward. I've had people that have had it for 3 or 4 years. I have people that have had it for 6 or more, right? And some have had it myself for 10 years. And then, of course, it stops after the 10th year. And I've had people that don't want it at all. Right? But
I have a question, Gabe, about that. So what does the premium amount go up to based on that IBR?
okay.
Like, how do they calculate exactly how much the premium increases?
Okay, great question. That is actually on the actual policy that you're delivering. There are, I don't know if you've ever seen when the definitions page, and then you get some more things that you need to understand, claim and the owner and the policy, all that stuff. Then you see tables. Do you see the tables? Probably about 6, 7, 8 pages in.
Mm-hmm.
That table is what calculates those numbers.
Okay.
So there is, again, is based on your age at the time and your health at the time, what increase that would be. So there is a set cost of insurance that references that much more coverage.
Because I know it's not that much. It's probably like a couple, like maybe $1 or $2
Correct.
more every time they get the increase in benefit rider. I just want to know exactly what the percentage was, but I'll be able to look at the policy like you said.
Because it changes based on who you're talking about. So it's hard there is no specific percentage wise that calculates that number. You have to understand how to calculate it based on the tables, which I can teach you if you want to, I'm sure Shay knows too.
Okay.
I can show you how to calculate.
All right, appreciate
The
that.
policy itself, guys, will tell you what it is. Huh?
I'm sorry, I have a question. With the increasing benefit rider, how do you determine if that's best for the family, or is that best for any family that has kids or want to have a future with having kids?
No,
Or is that like,
that comes automatically with a policy.
oh, okay, thank you.
It doesn't matter the situation. Okay. We also have waiver premium, right? You get disabled for any reason. You can have the coverage. The cost of insurance. I'm sorry. My brain got twisted somewhere else for a second. So waiver premiums, if you get disabled for any reason, you are able to, you pay an extra amount so that the policy takes care of itself. You don't have to pay out of pocket anymore while you are in disability for whatever period of time you're disabled. One of my colleagues here, Jim, who's been doing this for 29 years, one of his clients ended up getting carpal tunnel syndrome in her hands. She was a stenographer. To this day, because that's considered a disability that prevents her from doing her job and making money, to this day, she has not paid for her policy. The company takes care of it for as long as she's alive. Crazy, right? And that also includes child riders within the policy too, by the way. Everything is covered, right? So that's important to know. Spousal conversion, right? You can always, from one client, from the spouse, if one passes away, you can convert it. They automatically become the primary on the policy. So you can do that as well. Okay, child rider benefits, right? As you guys know, we have, you can get up to $50,000 per child for one premium cost. So if you have one child, right? Right, like Tefan has 2 kids. If she has 50